be advised that this recorded webinar has been edited from its original format, which may have included a product demo. To set up a live demo or to request more information, please complete the form to the right. Or if you are currently not on CSC Global, there is a link to the website in the description of this video. Thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar, UCC 201, Advanced Issues for Searchers and Filers. My name is Annie Triboletti and I will be your moderator. Joining us today is Russ Lash. Russ is a financial account manager at CSC. He is responsible for building relationships with customers, and since joining CSC in 2010, Russ has improved the customer experience by shortening workflow turnaround times and decreasing processing times, including improving Uniform Commercial Code delivery times. And with that, let's welcome Russ.
Thanks, Annie, for the introduction. Welcome, everyone. Before we get into the content, here are some facts about CSC. We are the business behind business. We were founded in 1899, which means we've been around for 120 years. We are a global company headquartered in Wilmington, Delaware. Over 60 years serving the financial industry with over 6 million UCC transactions processed annually, and then also over 8 million UCC transactions monitored. CSC is also the largest U.S.-owned provider of the lien-related services, such as the UCC, registered agent, entity and litigation management, and then also the digital brand services. Today's agenda: PMSI, what is that? Fixtures, what are they? Post-perfection pitfalls, CSC resources, then show you our UCC web portal, which is the CSC Financial Online, and then we'll close with questions and answers. Purchase money security interest. What is a PMSI, also what we refer to as a PMSI? According to UCC Article 9, a PMSI is a special type of security interest that enables those who finance a debtor's acquisition of goods to acquire a first priority security interest in the purchase money collateral, even if another creditor holds an earlier perfected security interest. So it could be used by a seller of goods to secure the prices, where a person who advances funds to enable the debtor to acquire rights in the goods. So what this means is this is a super priority for the PMSI secured party, limited to the good that they enabled for the debtor to acquire. Purchase money security interest concepts. Eligible secured parties, this could be seller of goods, also could be lender that finances the acquisition of goods, and also consignor of goods. So there is a burden of proof. That is, the secured party has the burden of establishing the extent to which the security interest is a PMSI. Strict compliance is essential. Must follow all the steps. Here we have a very good illustration of a PMSI. It is all about priority. So in this illustration, we're shown that there's 3 different years. In 2010, also 3 different secured parties. So in 2010, secured party 1 files a UCC on all assets. Then a year later, secured party 2 files UCC on equipment. So we're getting a little more specific here. And then 2012, the secured party 3 files a PMSI UCC on a laser widget model. So very specific. So what this tells us is that the secured party 3 has a priority in the specific machine, the widget. Secured party 1 has priority in all other assets. So that's including all the other equipment. So as a consequence, secured party 2 is probably out of luck. How is a UCC record filed to perfect a PMSI different from any other UCC record? Well, it shows here that there's no special form. There's no statutory requirement to indicate the financing statement as a PMSI, and also the general collateral sufficiency rules apply. PMSI perfection deadline. So the general rule is that a secured party must perfect the PMSI before or within 20 days after the debtor receives possession of the collateral. So there are some exceptions to the 20-day rule. That would include the PMSI in inventory, consignment, livestock PMSI, which would be like domestic farm animals and aquaculture, non-uniform state amendments, and also consumer goods. We're really going to zone in on the first 2 exceptions. PMSI and inventory, perfection requirements. PMSI must be perfected before the debtor receives possession of the inventory collateral. So here, the 20-day rule does not apply. And then also the notice requirements, the secured party must send an authenticated notification to the holder of a conflicting security interest. So this means the recipient must receive the notification before the debtor receives possession of the inventory. The notice is effective for 5 years. And then the notice also has specific content requirements. Consignments. When a consignor's interest in a PMSI and inventory, rights of the consignee. Consignee is deemed to have rights and title to the goods identical to those of the consignor. The consigned goods are subject to the claims of creditors and purchasers for value. So the consignment PMSI requirements state you want to perfect by filing before the debtor receives possession of the consigned goods. You want to send a notice to the holders of the conflicting security interests. And also, you want to ensure notice is received before the debtor receives possession of the consigned goods. PMSI and inventory, the general guidelines. First, you want to file the UCC. Second, you want to run a search to identify other secured party creditors. You want to make sure the through date at the state should be after your filing date. Number 3, you want to send the PMSI notices, and that would be by way of trackable mail, like certified mail. And then 4th, you want to deliver the inventory collateral. There's a PMSI Whitepaper, and that's available for download in the resource widget. This is a very useful tool. This was written by our Associate General Counsel, Paul Honnefield, and it's a very good tool to look in there to maybe if you have some questions about PMSI, gather some more information about that. Okay, next up is UCC Fixture Filings. So, what is a fixture anyway? Tell you about some general filing guidelines, and then also show you how to fill out the Fixture Addendum. So, what is a fixture? So generally, fixtures are goods that have become so related to particular real property that an interest in them arises under the real property law. And this is according to UCC Article 9. So some things that would be taken into consideration, the determination of a fixture would be the ease of removal, a degree of affixation, intention of the parties, and then also how essential the presence of the fixture is to the functioning of the real property. So, court fixture determinations. So, we have a couple columns here which show, based on some court decisions, some courts have determined what are fixtures, and some have determined some assets to be not fixtures. So, we see here that some courts have determined at times for a grain bin, airplane hangar, theater chairs, and irrigation equipment to be fixtures. Whereas, on the other end, with not fixtures, also could be grain bins, airplane hangars, a large engine, or hog buildings. So what this tells us, what this teaches us is that, only the courts can determine fixtures on a case-by-case basis. So best practice. So if there's any question, treat goods as both fixtures and also personal property. So what does that mean? It means that there are filing guidelines. So filing on fixtures versus the fixture filings. So here it shows UCC fixture filings are generally filed in the county in which a mortgage would be recorded on the affected real property. So filing on a fixture is done in the centralized filing office in the state which the debtor is located. A mortgage may also cover fixtures. So what forms to file? So if you're filing on a fixture, you'd file the UCC1 form. If you're filing a fixture filing, then you'd file the UCC1 form and then also an addendum to that form. Fixture filing location example. So here we show here, there's an illustration. A debtor is a Delaware corporation. The fixtures are or will be located at property in Harris County, Texas. So we show here that the filing on the fixtures, the UCC-1, would be filed at the Delaware Secretary of State, which is a centralized filing office. The fixture filing, the UCC-1, is filed at the Harris County Clerk, Texas. Filling out the addendum. So as I stated a couple slides ago, the difference between filling out a UCC filing on the fixture or the fixture filing is that the fixture filing has the addendum. As you see here from this graphic here, this is actually a picture of an actual UCC addendum, and it shows that number 13, and then also there's a number 14 that you check these boxes here that says this financing statement is to be filed for record or recorded in the real estate records, and then also in that case you would check the little box that says is filed as a fixture filing. So to summarize, here you have the different rules with filing on fixtures and fixture filing. So the filing on fixtures is filed in the central filing office where the debtor is located. Priority may be subordinated to a recorded real estate interest and is effective for 5 years. The fixture filing is not filed at the central filing office where the debtor is located, but it's filed in the real estate records where the mortgage would be recorded on the related real property. Priority is based on file date against both filing on the fixtures and the recorded real estate interest. And like a filing on the fixtures, is also effective for 5 years. Next up is post-perfection pitfalls. CSC offers some UCC monitoring options, such as portfolio monitoring. So with portfolio monitoring, as you probably know, changes in your debtor's name or status can affect your lien position. It is crucial to monitor your portfolio for changes and to prevent any lapsed filings. And also there are simple automated ways to receive alerts when things change. So one of our monitoring options is called the expiration tracking. So the expiration tracking will email notifications of approaching dates. You would receive copies of the acknowledgments. The filing numbers auto-populated into the UCC-3. Flexible reporting, and then also you can receive your expiration report, the notification frequency of your choice. So we can send an expiration report to you either daily, weekly, or monthly, and then also in here in the CSC Financial Online, you can also access that in an area called My Center, which will cover that as well in the demonstration. Post-filing changes. So post-filing changes to the debtor name, debtor business structure, or location create some of the most complex issues under UCC Article 9 and can place perfection or priority of the security interest at risk unless the secured party takes action within a short statutory deadline. Under our portfolio monitoring, we offer 3 UCC monitoring services in addition to our expiration tracking. The first is corporate tracking. So we'll notify you when a corporate debtor changes its corporate name, falls out of good standing, dissolves, or merges. Our second tracking service is debtor tracking. So debtor tracking will alert you to new filings against your debtor, including new lending and terminations, even your filings. We'll send email alerts with links to the tracking results, and then this will allow you to evaluate findings and request copies if needed. The third tracking service is bankruptcy tracking. So any delay in responding to a bankruptcy filing can be costly. So what bankruptcy tracking will do is it will monitor court records and compare them to your copies of acknowledgments. Filing numbers will auto-populate into the UCC-3, allows for flexible reporting, and then also you can receive the bankruptcy tracking, the notification frequency of your choice. Here are some CSC resources. CSC offers Secured Party Representation Service, or also called SPRS. So with SPRS, as you probably know, UCC financing statements are public record. So that means that anyone can access your customer list. So by using CSC as a Secured Party Representative, we can prevent competitors from identifying your filings. SPRS centralizes the inquiries. So what that means is we have a dedicated team here to manage these inquiries. Another resource is our CSC blog. So CSC provides you with an archive of filing office closings and also communications, pending and new legislation, UCC Article 9 updates. So we offer white papers, filing guides, and also upcoming webinars.